say
Hi
hello.
everyone.
All right, so Izzy, can you tell us a little bit about you? Can you tell us your full name, your age, and where you live, and where you're coming from?
Sure. My name is Izzy Alvarez. I'm 18 years old and I live in Englewood, New Jersey.
Yeah, woot woot woot, Englewood. And can you tell everyone how we know each other?
Sure. I think it was like a couple years ago, or maybe less. I was in a Toby's music video, and it was so great. It was a blast. That whole day was super fun. I still have like pictures from it, and me and my friends still talk about it. It was one of like the best
Oh,
experiences we've had.
oh, that's
Um,
so cool.
So my dance teachers worked with Toby for the video, and we loved how the video turned out. The colors looked so great. Everyone had a
Cool.
great time, so it was a great experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing that because you were killed it during that video. You're such an
Thank you.
insane dancer. Like I wish I could dance as well as you. I mean, I can like move my body a little bit, but like you're like this girl is insane. All right, so let's get to it. So, first question, what do you think it's like being a kid these days prior to COVID-19?
hmm So I definitely think being a kid has definitely changed from um, what is like described as before, as in like when my parents were children. Definitely like when they were kids, like bike riding was always a thing that they did, skateboarding and rollerblading. Like I do think that is something we do now, but it's definitely not as something that like is as common. Like everyone has a phone by their like sixth grade birthday, and it's just insane to me because I got like a real phone like in eighth grade or when I first started high school, and I know people who didn't get a phone until after college.
Wow.
So social media is a big part of being a kid nowadays. Like TikTok is all the rage. Even if it's not, you don't have a social media platform, like everyone's on YouTube and
Yeah.
everything, which I think can be a positive thing and also a negative thing.
Yeah, sure, of course. Speaking of TikTok, I think I should probably add that question to my whole interview series because I'm trying to understand what I'm supposed to be doing in TikTok. So maybe you can give me like the down low of what you think TikTok is later.
Sure.
Okay, so what does a typical day of school look like for you prior to COVID-19?
Okay, prior to COVID-19, it's my school days are actually a little different from I say like the normal routine. I actually go to school with both of my parents. Both of my parents are teachers at my high school, and my
Oh,
lockers literally like smack in the middle of their classrooms.
no
So
way. What is that
um,
like?
on the right side is my mom, and the left side is my dad.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, I love it. I think a lot of teenagers would be like pulling their hair out over it, but me and my parents have such a great and understanding relationship. Like my mom is literally one of my best friends. She's so funny. She gets along with all my friends. Like they all know like if they need any help with like a subject or they need help just getting through the day, like she is definitely a person that they can go to.
Cool.
Same thing with my dad. My dad's a little bit more reserved than my mom. My mom's like a firecracker.
Okay.
But you need that balance.
Yeah, of course.
He's great too, though. He literally helps me with all my homework if I need help with it or anything. He's like the smartest person I know.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so it's actually a good thing going to school with your parents. It's actually cool. It's not like, please get away from me. It's actually
No,
like,
I loved it. And my brother's going to be joining the high school next year. Sadly,
oh,
not when I'm there because I'm graduating this year. But then he gets to go through his own experience with my parents as well, which is definitely going to be a positive one.
oh, cool. That's awesome. So this is not an interview question, but you just said you're graduating. So what does that look like right now for you, your graduation? You just said you just had a graduation
So
party?
tonight, actually, the Obamas are going to be having a ceremony for all graduates, like across the nation, which I think is so amazing that they're doing that for us. I actually just finished watching Michelle Obama's Netflix show, Becoming, and it was absolutely
Oh,
wonderful. I definitely recommend
cool.
it to everyone. It's so
Okay.
great. So I have that ceremony tonight, but my official graduation will be on June 22nd, and it will be virtually, sadly. But
Yeah.
I mean, we're trying to definitely figure stuff out because I'm on my Congress board. I'm the vice president at my school. So we're
Congrats,
definitely,
girl.
thank you. We're definitely trying to figure something out to try to reach out to our fellow graduates and try to make them feel loved and like celebrate them even through these times. So
Yeah, of
we're trying to
course.
figure stuff out. It's in the works.
Good. Snaps for you. That was
Thank
awesome. Good
you.
job, Izzy. All right, very cool. So, what is your favorite school subject and why?
Okay. My favorite school subject would probably be history. which is like, it's kind of funny because my dad's a history teacher. So
Uh-huh.
he's also the basketball coach. So I didn't really follow his path with basketball. I'm more of a dancer, like
Yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
mom, but I definitely did follow his path with history. I love learning about history, and I love learning how we can adapt like past events to like what is going on now. Um, so yeah, I really love history, and my dad is just like great at like making it fun and not like a snooze fest.
Cool. That's awesome. History was definitely my favorite subject when I was in school too. I really loved learning the facts and I love just like making our own history too and seeing how it
Yeah,
correlates. I
exactly.
really like that. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So, what has been one of your favorite moments that has happened to you in school so far in your life?
Okay. That is such a difficult question because I
Yeah.
loved so much about high school.
Oh, cool.
Um, I think definitely one of the most iconic and fun moments was I dressed up as our school mascot for our fall
No
pep
way.
rally,
Wait, what is the mascot?
a Bergenfield bear.
Yes, that's awesome. Oh my God. Do you have any pictures of this?
I do. I could send them to you.
Please, 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 please. Okay.
It was so fun. It was actually like a fluke in the moment. I was just like, wait, who's the mascot? Because we were all like preparing like pep rally that day, and like you know how crazy events get. So like
Yeah.
some things like slip, and someone's like, oh wait, I don't think anybody's doing it. I guess we're not gonna have it. And I'm like, no, we have to have the mascot. So I danced with my high school dance team that day too. So I literally did like quick changes back and forth of what I was
Yes.
gonna do. So I ran out as the bear, and we were all dancing together. It was just so fun because no one knew it was me because it was so last minute. So I
Yeah.
was like, literally doing like waves in the crowd. I was dancing. I was moving.
Thanks for sharing. Next question. Okay. Can you remember something that one of your teachers told you, something that has stuck with you in a positive way or changed the way that you think?
Hmm. Okay, so I definitely think that had to have been in middle school. In middle school, I had a lot of difficulties academically. I didn't really understand like I'm dyslexic, so I didn't understand how to
Oh,
figure out how to help myself learn in different ways from everyone else. Like
yeah.
the way everyone else was learning wasn't how I learned. So I had to figure out new strategies with the help of my parents and some help of my teachers. Like they didn't know either. So it was kind of a struggle going through that because
Mhm.
my support system is definitely my family and definitely my friends, but a lot of the teachers didn't understand how to help me.
Yeah.
Definitely someone who stuck out was my performing arts teacher. He always supported me and he always tried to help me any way he could. And in performing, you have to learn lines, and acting, you have to learn lines. And I remember I'd always forget like a little like blurb, or I'd forget like the next sentence, and I would jump to the next because my brain was just like all over the place.
Sure. Okay.
So he always taught me like different ways of how to strategize it and how to take things one step at a time and not having to catch up to everyone else. And it's okay going at my own pace as long as I know how to deal with that.
I
So
love
I
that.
think that really helped me like throughout high school too. And like I wasn't afraid of public speaking, and I wasn't afraid of memorizing lines anymore because he helped me and he motivated me in a positive way, and he didn't make me feel like less than because I didn't learn as like everybody else.
Right. So he empowered you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I really
Yeah.
love that. That's really great. Thank you so much for telling all of us that because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that maybe are just discovering that they're dyslexic or maybe they don't really feel comfortable with it. It's speaking out about it. So thank you so much for talking about that with everyone else and hopefully it'll
Of
give them a
course.
little inspiration too. Very cool. All right. So, next question. Have you ever been bullied before in or out of school? If not, have you ever seen a bullying incident? And if not, if you were to ever see one, what do you think? Like, how do you think you would react to it?
Okay, so back in elementary school, a lot of my friends weren't Hispanic when I transferred schools to a Catholic school.
Okay.
A lot of them were fair, and they had like light skin, they had blonde hair, and I have very dark features because I'm Hispanic. So I had hairy arms, I had a full grown, like Frida Kahlo
Ah,
unibrow across my face.
okay, okay.
Um, and I was always so insecure about it because no one looked like me. And I
Yeah.
was like, Mom, like I don't want my eyebrows like this anymore. Like I want to be blonde. And she was like, you know, like you have to see that like being not looking like everyone else is a good thing. Like
Yeah.
being unique and being yourself is a good thing, which is hard to tell like a little third grader
Girl, I
because you
get
just want
that.
to fit in.
I totally get that.
Yeah, so I think like eventually like after looking at people who looked like me, like Rita Moreno, and looking at like big Hispanic role models kind of helped me out. And like I said, like, you know, she looks like me and look where she is today. Like, look up to people who they might not look like you, but just try to embody their confidence and what you want to project out to the world. So I think like now I love my bushy eyebrows. I have a bunch of friends. Yeah, I have a bunch of friends that fill in their eyebrows and like, you know, I wish my eyebrows were natural like yours. And I'm like, listen, girl, it took a long time to love these brows. Yeah. I like them now.
It really takes a process to love yourself. And I'm so proud of you that you are actually like that. It didn't take that long for you and that you accept it and you love those brows, you love your hair, and that's just awesome. So thanks for sharing that story.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So next question. If you could pick any dream job when you get older, what would that be?
That is the question of the hour.
Okay.
Since I'm graduating, a lot of people are asking me, so what are you majoring in? What do you want to do? What do you want to do with your life? And it's so hard to decide. I feel like it's like this decision you have to stick to, and it's like, okay, that's the path for your rest of your life and that's what you're going to stick to. And it's so difficult to do that as like a young 18-year-old like ready to move on with their life, and it's just like stuck. I literally have had like vision boards, paths of so many things I want to try, and I really like I've kind of like narrowed it down to like an umbrella of things that I like.
Okay.
Not a specific career. I definitely love public speaking. I love the media.
You're great at it, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love public relations, so stuff like that. I definitely still want to dance as well. So trying to find like a happy medium between all of those, I definitely want to do, and I definitely want to start to travel as well. I think moving forward, I want to have different kinds of jobs in the span of like my career and years.
Yeah.
I think it'd be so awesome to be a flight attendant one day. I think it's such a cool job.
Cool.
Not for the rest of my life, but at least some point in my life.
Just
I think
to try it and say that you tried, you did it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I definitely want to live outside of the U.S. at least once, whether that's for a month, whether that's for a year, just to study abroad. I think would be super cool too.
Have you ever traveled overseas yet?
I have not.
Oh, girl,
I went on a cruise one time, but that was like to the Bahamas, and I don't really count it because I was like in elementary school, so I don't remember too much. But I definitely want to go overseas, like as soon as the pandemic is pretty flushed out. But I definitely do want to travel. It is something I like on the top of my list.
It is so amazing to see how other people live in the world. I am so fortunate. I'm also in this rock band called Gogo Bordello, and I'm so fortunate with that band to have traveled everywhere. We've been to Israel, we've been to Poland, we've been to Germany, we've been to Ukraine, we've been to like all these amazing places, and it's so amazing to take back all those memories. And what I was doing when I was I was taking like video clips of as many things that I could remember to take video of. So I have this huge storage and this huge flash drive of all this memories and all these videos. So one day I'm going to try to put together like a documentary of everything that I've done. So one advice for you, when you do travel overseas, just make sure you document everything, because that's such like a keepsake, and then you can show it to like your family when you get older, and you know, it's cool. You can be like, I did this, back when.
That's so awesome. I can't wait to travel. It's like I'm itching to go already.
Oh God, it's so much fun. It's so cool. Thanks for sharing that. All right, next question. Who is your role model and why?
I'd say my role model is definitely my parents. I think that they're amazing people. The way that they teach their kids, like in school, they try to build them up. Especially my mom, she's a special ed teacher. Oh, wow. So a lot of the kids that she has like either struggle academically or socially, they have anxiety. So it's not about the grade for her. It's about like their personal growth and how can I make this child better.
And the connection with that child. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And she used to work with autistic kids before she moved up to the high school. So she like had like the whole like span of super Down syndrome kids or kids who just have anxiety in school. So she knows how to deal with all of that, which has helped me personally. When I was diagnosed with dyslexia, she already knew how to handle that because she had previous years with all her students.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And my dad is he's awesome too. Like even though he's a basketball coach, he's like my little dance coach too. He doesn't understand like all the terminology. Like he's like, wait, what's a pirouette again? And I'm like, Dad, it's the turn. He was like, okay.
Does he ever do it?
Yes, he definitely does.
I could totally, from what you're describing about your dad, I could totally see him as that guy who like tries to dance, and you're like, all right, Dad, that's cute.
Yeah. For my Sweet 16, we had a daddy-daughter dance, and we turned it kind of into a hip-hop dance instead of just a slow dance.
Aww.
Yeah, and so we had rehearsals in my living room, and my dad was like, wait, we gotta do that again. One more time. I'm like, Dad, we went over that like 6 times already. You need to keep up. And he was like, okay, I got it. But he's awesome.
That's cool. Oh, snaps to your parents. That's so cool. Very cool. Awesome. Thanks. Okay, so next question. So our program title here is called Be True to You. So how do you think that has applied to you before COVID-19, and how do you think it applies to you now during COVID-19?
Okay. I think be true to you definitely means to stand up for what you believe and what you think is the right thing to stand up for, like personal.
Yeah.
Before COVID, I was dealing with a little bit of like, I was kind of insecure about my body because I started a new job and I'm more of a curvy girl. I'm Hispanic, so
Hey.
it's pretty obvious. And I started a new job as a hostess in a restaurant, and these are all older people. I was the youngest staff member, and I was feeling a little anxious because I noticed like I had to wear a pencil skirt, I had to dress appropriate, wear heels to my job, and I felt a little uncomfortable because I noticed like people at the bar would look at me, and I'd notice like gentlemen like in chairs would look at me, and I felt like super uncomfortable in my skin, and I was just like really self-conscious.
Yeah.
So I did a post on my Instagram, and I titled it Body Image, and I kind of just like talked about.
I saw that post. That was incredible.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It would take a lot to do it, not gonna lie, because I was like, all right, people gonna like it, or people gonna think it's weird, like are they gonna think it's too much?
Is it okay if I share that in this video?
Oh yeah,
I can share
totally
that post?
fine.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
And I kind of did it because I was like, like I'm not the only person that feels this way. Like it's my body, and what I choose to dress is the way I dress. And if people look at it or they make remarks, like I just have to brush that off my shoulder because that's their issue and that's their problem.
Yeah.
And I just have to go do my job and earn my coin and go my merry way.
And just accept yourself the way you are. And
yeah, for sure.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Then that post is amazing, and I'm definitely going to fly that post in here so everyone can see exactly what you're talking about.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So what does your daily routine look like now during COVID-19? Like, what do you do? I know you're a dancer, and do you still dance with your team? What do you do?
Yeah. So it's definitely hard not to sleep in, not gonna lie.
Oh my God. I think I woke up like 40 minutes before this interview.
No, I definitely feel you. It is so difficult to do that. So now, yes, I'm still dancing with my dance team, the Source Dance Lab. We have online Zoom calls, and obviously it's not what my coaches want. They want to be in person. They want to be motivating us in person, but they're really doing the best they can. I think they're doing a great job helping everyone stay motivated, offering different types of classes. Like recently we just had a special guest was Julian de Guzman, which he's a great choreographer, an amazing dancer. Amazing. So they're really trying to pull like different choreographers to keep us like excited to go to dance, because it gets sad after a while. Like you used to see these people almost every day. Like I saw my teammates every single day, like 7 times a week, like 7 days a week.
They're a family to you.
Yeah, they are my family. So it's definitely hard to like now, like we all live in different towns. I haven't seen them since COVID, but I get to see them during the Zoom call and we get to dance together. So that's what I kind of look forward to throughout my day. As far as school, even though I'm finishing out high school now, so we don't really have as much assignments anymore.
Sure.
It's kind of just they assign it through Google Classroom, finish it before the due date, and that's kind of it. But Zoom calls if we need them. And then I'm really trying to plan a lot for my class with Congress and our principal. So we're working close with them with school.
Nice. Okay, so you're definitely keeping busy, which is amazing, because I know some people, it takes a long time to like figure out like what your purpose is during this whole pandemic. So it's really great that you're still inspiring everyone, that you're still working with your team, and you're like, you wake up and you have something to do, which is so important to stay positive.
And it's definitely hard. Like I know like it sounds easier said than done. Like you can say like, okay, I'm going to plan this at 9. I'm going to plan this at 12.
Oh no.
And then you don't get up until 1. So
And you're just like, all right, well, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts recently as I've been walking my dog, and I'm just like, they're all like self-motivating and like self-help things and like how to remain positive. And there's this one podcast channel I was listening to, and they were saying instead of making a to-do list of all the things that you have to do that day, make a like to-done list. So
Oh,
like
that's
at
great.
the end of the day, be like, okay, so I didn't get to everything, but what did I do? And you're like, okay, so I wrote this down, so I accomplished that. So I've been actually doing that, and it makes me feel more like, I can take a breath, and like I'm not anxious about like all these things that I didn't do. It's like, okay, I did accomplish something. Like even making your bed, like one of the top philosophers says like even getting up in the morning and making your bed is like that's your first accomplishment of the day, and if you can do
Mhm.
that, you can do other things too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, girl, I will definitely try that. It makes me feel good, so hopefully I'll keep it going.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question. Have you ever thought about making a time capsule? A time capsule, for those that don't know, is a box, something that you can put memories into from a certain time period of your life. You bury it, and then 15, 20 years later, whenever, you go back to that time capsule, and then you see those memories, and, it evokes like feelings from what you went through during that time. So have you ever thought about making one? Does this question want to make you want to make one? And if so, what would you put in it?
I haven't thought about making a time capsule now. I think that's a great idea. I made one when I was in kindergarten, and then
Yeah.
I opened it early in second grade because I wanted to see it so bad.
Perfect.
So I think now, since I have a little bit more self-control, I think I could do it. I think that's
Okay.
an awesome idea. I don't know what I'd put in it though. I
Yeah.
think maybe like my old like iPod Shuffle, because I think it's old now, but if I open it like years from now, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is ancient.
That's so funny because I was talking to Ava yesterday and she said that she would put her earbuds in there.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What else would you put in there? Something from the pandemic, like something that makes you feel like I went through this and I survived.
Mhm. Well, Ava's mom actually makes face masks. So she gave me one for Easter, and it's a little bunny on it. It's super cute.
Aw.
So shout out to Ava's mom. She's great.
Yeah.
So I definitely put that in there.
Okay,
I
because
think,
hopefully in 20 years we won't need to be wearing masks
yeah,
anymore. So,
hopefully.
yeah,
I
you
mean,
can
now
bury
they're
it.
becoming a fashion statement, so maybe we will do it voluntarily, but
Maybe. Have you ever seen the show The Magicians?
I have not.
Okay, I'm into all that like fantasy, magical stuff because I
Mhm.
wish that I was like a wizard. But anyway, there is this one girl, she loses like one of her eyes and then but then she like, just starts wearing all these like patches and then
Mhm.
all the patches have like sequins and like diamonds on it and then
That's
it
so
becomes like
cute.
a fashion statement. So
Yeah,
unless masks become a fashion statement, then I guess maybe you wouldn't want to bury it, but
yeah.
yeah, cool. Awesome. Thanks. So, all right, next question. Can you share with us one thing that no one knows about you? It can be funny, serious, anything you want.
I don't know. I'm pretty much an open book, I think.
Okay.
um, I
Or it
don't.
could just, if it's not something that someone doesn't know, maybe something that you want people to know that don't know you.
Okay. I think for people my age, what I don't see a lot, because I definitely YouTube and Google are two like right hand mans when we don't know something. So
Uh-huh.
I went to YouTube when I was struggling with what college to go to because my dream school is all the way in Las Vegas, so it's definitely way far from here.
Yeah.
Um, and then as soon as like the pandemic happened, I was like, okay, I definitely can't go now. I don't know if they're gonna be open in the fall.
Yeah.
It's too many questions like up in the air that like, and it's a big investment as well. Like if I'm gonna move my whole life out there, like I have to know for sure what's going on.
Yeah, sure.
So I think with like dealing with the whole college thing and stuff, so like I also like committed to a school that was in New Jersey. It was a 4 year, and
Okay.
now I'm kind of struggling with that because I'm like, okay, like are they going to be online too? I don't want to pay
Right.
the type of tuition because that's your first investment you're making as a young student.
Of course.
um and if that works for you, that works for you. But for me, I definitely know one of my biggest things I want to do is I want to travel. So I need money to travel.
Yes.
So I think now where I'm going with my educational path, like I do want to still go to college. I still want to learn. I'm a really eager learner. So I think what I'm going to do is go to community for at least 1 year,
Okay.
whether it's online or in person, just to
Sure.
get my feet wet because I don't really know what specific major I want yet. So just to get the gen eds out of the way, and then as soon as I'm done with that year, I think I'll better know where I want to go. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people don't talk about that. Like they're always like, okay, what 4-year are you going? What 4-year? I mean, people
Yeah.
turn their nose to community, but it's a great option for people. You shouldn't turn your nose away from that.
Of
It's
course.
not less than a 4-year. It's still college. It's just your stepping stone if you're not ready to commit to a 4-year yet.
Exactly. It's a great stepping stone. So thank you so much for those that are watching this that are also deciding on what college to go to, especially now with this pandemic. If you're like, wow, I don't even know if my college is going to be there, so or be available to go in person. So thanks for sharing that. It is a great stepping stone. So I hope those listening know community college is a great stepping stone before you commit to a 4-year college. Very cool. Thanks, Izzy. All right, next question. We have a hashtag here with our program. It's called, well, a hashtag is also like a mantra, something that you can say positive to yourself, you know, like to reinforce something if you're feeling negative. This hashtag is called Be Your Inner Warrior. So, what would your warrior name be and why?
Oh, that's a cool question.
Yeah. One of my
Who my
favorite
warrior
questions.
would be? I don't know what my warrior name would be. I think that's super cool.
Thanks.
Um, Say like a wonderful warrior or a fierce warrior, like
Okay.
fierce, something like that. I
Fierce.
think just like people like
What
when
about
they
like
think of
Izzy the Fierce?
yeah, that's cute. I like that.
Izzy the
Like
Fierce?
warriors like have to be like spunky. They have to be like
Yeah.
they have to be like also like cool. Like I think like all warriors are like super cool. Like I think of like Hercules when I think of warrior. Like he's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
I'm like that's something I definitely want to be.
Oh, for sure. And then also you have to think about the merch that's going to go along with your
Of
warrior name.
course. Yeah.
So, Izzy the Fierce, that's an awesome merch line.
Oh yeah.
That
So
should be dropping in like September.
check your inbox and emails.
Check. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so if you could create your own emoji, what would it be?
Um, I think probably another dancer emoji. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the flamenco girl. I think she's super
Oh, yeah,
cool,
it's
super
awesome.
fierce. But I think we need a little bit of a variety. Like, that's the only one I can go to. And like being a dancer, like I struggle with that. There's so many styles of dance that like I
Yeah.
want to be shown. Like, we need like a hip hop dancer, we need a tap dancer.
Yeah.
I think a whole line of dancers would be super cool and cheerleaders too, because I don't even think there's a cheerleader emoji.
Wow. See, this gives you a lot to think about going into college and going into a career. Maybe you just want to, have a career in creating up dance emojis.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be really cool. I'm sure you can make some bang for your buck. That'd be awesome. Okay, so before we get to this okay, so you might think the interview is over, but I have another fun game that we're gonna play. But
Okay,
before we
cool.
get to that, can you explain to me TikTok?
Sure. Um, so TikTok. At first I thought TikTok was like only for like younger kids and like which is weird because like I'm not even that old. I'm only 18. So I
Yeah.
thought it was for younger kids and I was just like, okay, TikTok's kind of weird, not into it. And
Okay.
then I downloaded it over the summer and I was just like watching and everything and like they have like these cute little dances that you can follow. Like the first one I learned I think was by Mariah Carey, Obsessed, and it was like, why are you so obsessed with me? And it was
Oh,
so
I've
cute.
seen that. Okay, okay.
And all of my like I was teaching, I was a camp counselor when I first downloaded it, so I started to learn the dance and all my kids were like around me. They're like, oh, I know that one. They're like obsessed with me. And I was like, it was so
Oh.
cute.
Oh, that's
So
fun.
yeah, but now since I'm like in the TikTok game,
Okay.
I follow a bunch of different types of people. So like there's like comedians on there, there's dancers on there, there's activists on there that you just make like a short clip just to get people like that's where a lot of kids are getting news nowadays. It's like, Twitter, Instagram,
And
TikTok.
TikTok?
Yeah, they're
Wow.
like everything is just like literally social media is just like splurging everywhere with news. Like whatever the latest thing is out, like it will be out in 2 seconds, like ready for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Wow. Okay, two questions. So one question. So with TikTok, like there's one video where you're like in the bathroom and you're like this small person and then all of a sudden you do like a light switch and then you're like this giant or something.
yes.
How do you do that kind of stuff?
So you have to I think it's you have to stop the video. I'm not really good at the technicalities of it.
Yeah.
My best friend Matthew is like famous on TikTok, so every time I have a question, like I ask him. I'm like,
Okay.
how do you do this? I think you have to like so you start the video
Yeah.
and then when the beat drops or like the when it says like I hit the switch, flip, you have to
Yeah.
shut off the lights, you stop the video, you get changed or whatever, because like I know like people like switch clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
and then you turn the lights, you start the video again, then you turn the lights back on, and then it's cut to like you guys like that. So that's how I do that. But I know there's like special effects that you can also do like on the app. It's like an arrow on the bottom, I think. But I'm sure there's tutorials on YouTube for it.
Okay. Well, also maybe we'll have to get Matthew on the show so that he can explain to us the ins and outs of TikTok.
Oh God, he'll love that.
Oh, cool. Okay, that'd be really fun. My other question, do I remember it? Oh, okay, yes. So Facebook is for people that are like 18 and older. So do you have a Facebook, right?
So I downloaded Facebook for college. It was actually to meet people that were going to go to the university. And that's literally the last thing I got it, and then I deleted it. Because I didn't really know how to work Facebook. Like, it's something that my parents have. And
that's
like,
so funny.
I was looking at it, and I was just like, this is so, like, odd to me. Like, I'm just going to stick to Instagram and, like, my own jam. Like,
interesting. Okay, wow, that's really interesting. Very cool. That's so funny because I'm like, Facebook, yeah. And then like I'm like TikTok. I'm like, what is that? Okay, that's so funny. All right, so now we're gonna play this or that game.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Sunrise, sunset.
Sunset.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
Sun or moon?
Moon.
Early bird or night owl?
Oh, night owl.
Take a risk or just relax?
Take a risk.
Yeah. Park or beach?
Beach.
Family time or me time?
Family time.
Do it yourself project or buy?
Depends on what it is, but probably buy.
Okay. TV series or movies?
TV.
Read books or listen to a podcast?
Podcast.
Cool. Cook food or order in?
Cook food.
Wake up early or sleep late?
Sleep late.
Yeah. Alone time or family time?
Family time.
Learn a new dish or learn a new skill?
Probably dish.
Cool. Do chores or declutter?
Declutter.
Work out or relax?
Workout.
Movie marathon or TV series binge watching?
Ooh. I think movie marathon.
Ooh, okay. And then Amazon, Netflix, or Hulu?
Depends on what I'm watching. I feel like Hulu's like good for shows, and then Netflix are better for movies. So if I'm doing the movie binge watch, definitely Netflix. But if it's TV, like reality TV is perfect on Hulu. If you're looking for
yes, it is. Awesome. Okay, so one more game. Okay, so you're on a deserted island. You can only have 5 things. What would those 5 things be?
Probably. Oh my gosh, a cell phone.
Okay, cell phone.
A Wi-Fi router so that way my cell phone can work.
Okay, 2.
Probably fresh water.
Yes.
And good snacks.
Yeah. One more.
Probably a good book.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, girl. Thank you. Okay. One more thing. So do you have any social sites that you want everyone to go to? Or we already talked about some videos that I'm going to show in this interview for people. So do you have like a social media or Instagram or anything?
Sure. I have an Instagram. It's Izzy.Alvarez. Alvarez with 2 Z's.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. And one more last question. So how would you like to send off this interview to others? What is a personal mantra that you want to tell other people?
I think a personal mantra that I definitely stand by, it's actually on my jeans. I have it painted on my jeans.
Did you paint it?
No, my friend painted it. It's called OK Denim, her line. It's a friend of a friend. It's amazing. Like, all the stuff she makes is super cool. So definitely go check her out, OK Denim on Instagram.
Cool, thanks. OK Denim plug. That's awesome. All right. Now, before you go, we all have good days and bad days, but I do believe we're all extremely fortunate to wake up in the morning and contribute to making a difference. After all, that's what this whole podcast is about. So we have a pledge with my program at Be True to You. I have a mascot, Biddy the Bee. His acronym is Be True to You. So I have a pledge. So if you just want to take the pledge with me, if you could just put your right hand up in the air, cross your thumb across your hand. Yeah. Okay, now repeat after me. I pledge to follow Biddy the Bee.
I pledge to follow Biddy the Bee.
And promise to stay true.
And promise to stay true.
We will take the sting out of bullying.
We'll take the sting out of bullying.
Together, me and you.
Together, me and you.
Yeah, girl. Snap. Yeah, Izzy, thank you so much for that. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was so fun. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. It was so nice to connect with you. It's been a while,
I
and
know.
you stood out to me so much during that whole dance and that whole day, and I just really wanted to reconnect with you. Please say goodbye to your audience.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Toby here. Thank you for sticking around and listening to what our communities have to say about being true. A timeless message that really does apply to all. We hope our featured podcast of the day inspired you as much as it's inspired us. Please feel free to share this with others, comment, reach out, download our music, and let us know if you'd like Be True to You to come to your school. Till next time, I'm Toby, and this is Buzz Social. And don't forget to check us out on Instagram at @BittyTheBee. That's BTTY the B.